It's not time to talk, giving you my reaction to the retained list just out recently today. Not too many shocks or surprises, really. I think that the fan base could probably agree that we would likely see those kind of players released or those ones retained. There is some, I wouldn't say surprises, but there might have been some difficult choices or some decisions that maybe people feel someone could have been given an extra bit of time. But all in all, pretty understandable list that's come out. So we'll start with the players that have been retained. It's a bit surprising to see Marias, maybe because he hasn't seen much game time. That's one only thing that I can think of. I mean, we haven't seen that much of him, so hopefully he can add a bit more or bring more to the season next season. We'll see a bit more of him. But other than that, it's good to see Mahovo and Sanderson retained. Some really bright youngsters in there. Sam Slocum stays with us and Tiernan Brooks. Interesting to see what happens with Tiernan Brooks next season, especially now with some of the decisions made around Stone, who's been transfer listed. So that'll be interesting, like I said, to see if Brooks can try and cement a number one spot. I do think it's getting a bit late now to keep learning him out. If he was going to develop the way we want him to develop, then surely we should be there by now, and they should put their faith in him. From all accounts, from what I've seen, the Rochdale fans really liked him at their place, so I'm hoping he gets that chance. Kedwin Scott option, contract extended. I wasn't sure if that was in the contract or not. Someone might have known, and I might not be in the know with that, but I'm happy that they've done that. I feel like he deserves the extension, and it allows us to have a look at him now he's come back from injury, and I really hope that he can force his way into the first team as well and play more games now he's back from injury. I think he has a big part to play in this season, next season. I think he can contribute massively. We've seen him when he has been fit that he's a great player, and his finishing is unreal, really. Sometimes on that near post strikes that he makes. So really looking forward to seeing more of those. And then Bajrami with the contract extension, contract offer. You'd hope that he'd sign. Obviously, it's not guaranteed, but we'd really like to see him back in the black and white as well. It's been too long, and I feel like we really need to get a better look at him as well. I'm not too sure his best position. I liked him when he played in centre mid rather than centre half, but we'll see what the new coaching team do with him. Obviously, the new coaching team haven't had a chance to see him in the first 11 or see him play much, or see him at all in the first team. So another interesting one, and looking forward to seeing both Scott and Bajrami cement their places back into the starting lineup next season. So now we'll go on to those that have been let go. Those we'll start with transfer listed. So Aidan Stone, Connor Rawlinson, and Will Randall. Will Randall, before we signed him, there was some question marks about his injury proneness and his fitness and things like that. We hoped that they were behind him, but he's had a bit of a rough time at Notts. I mean, even when he has getting to be fit for a start and getting through his injuries, but then also trying to compete for places is really difficult in the first 11 where he plays. Austin could play in his position, Jones, even Chickson as well came on at the end of the season and performed really well. So I think those games that we would have maybe seen Randall towards the end of the season, he didn't quite get the opportunity, and it's probably fair for us to transfer list him and let him play elsewhere. Stone never really worked out. He had some flashes and glimpses of like what we thought he could be. Most notably the game against Accrington. Even in that though there was an error, but he had a great game against Accrington, kept us in it a lot of it and made some outstanding saves and had a really commanding performance, and I thought that was something that he was going to push on and really look to cement his place as the starting keeper, but that never really materialised. So be interesting like I said, to see what we do in the goalkeeping department. And also, Rawlinson, it is sad to see him go because he's been a great servant for the club. He's put his body on the line numerous times and is played immensely well for a lot of those games, and had a big part to play in the Chesterfield game and getting us promoted. Really great guy, and wish him all the best, but just needs regular game time at this time of his career, so that's understandable. And then on to the ones that we've let go. Also in this list, some massive players for us who are having to let go, and thank you to all of them really, because we wouldn't be in the league without them. John Bostock's free kick against Chesterfield was an immense moment, one that I don't think anyone will ever forget, and without that we wouldn't be in the league now, so massive thanks to him. And he's been great, and when he came in he's done everything that was asked of him, so yeah, thank you very much to John Bostock, and Jim O'Brien as well. You can't really explain the impact that he's had at Notts and the kind of service he's given us. He's stuck by us and given his all in every single game, and he will be really missed. I can imagine he'll be missed around the squad and the club, and yeah, he was I think he was a real delight to have around the club, and someone who kind of got Notts, and his passion shone through all the time. So yeah, it'll be sad to see him go, but wish him all in the best in his coaching if that's his next steps. I don't know if he'll be playing anymore, but hope to see him develop as a coach, and maybe we'll see him at Notts again in the future, who knows. And then also Baldwin being released, which was a bit of a sort of could have gone either way. I think he had some great games, but then also was very prone to errors. He would have 3 great passes, but then 2 really bad ones, and he'd have to make up a lot for them. I think sometimes he did make up for his errors. He probably made it harder for himself at times, but he has put in some immense performances for him, and again also contributed massively to the promotion season last season with those goals against Boreham Wood. Couldn't really have asked much more apart from a bit more consistency, but I think he'll go to a club and he will do well for another team as well. I don't think he will struggle really to get into a first 11 another club, so wish him all the best. And Brindley, what great moments we've had with him as well. Torquay also helped towards the promotion season. I know Jake discussed him a bit more on the video previously, but yeah, another person who's just given a lot to the club, and wish all the best. So that's it for all our retained lists. Oh, and another mention for Leifa. He's sadly been let go. Must have not really seen much in him to keep him around. I don't know if his recent loans were what was expected, but he needs to obviously grow and play games to grow his potential and grow his career, and unfortunately Notts feel that Notts isn't the place for him. But yeah, that's all the players I think that I can think of that we've retained and gone through. Good base to build from next season. Looking forward to seeing some players return. Looking forward to especially Palmer. I haven't mentioned him, but him and Robertson in the middle will be great. Also looking forward to any new signings we may have. A lot of exciting things happening around the club at the moment, and also looking for the next Nest update. I'm still waiting for another one of them just to see if we'll be ready in time for the Euros. But yeah, really excited. Big summer ahead for recruitment. Need to get it right, but I feel like we have the capabilities to push for promotion if we get that spot on. We'll look forward to seeing what happens with the club in the coming months.